Not
Sure.
yet. I think it is still trying to come live. Okay, now you are live. Okay, I will go ahead and share. Here you go. You can continue.
I welcome all the online audience to the Wednesday class at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. Today I would like to share the pastimes of Srila Haridas Thakura. And before doing that, I would like to sing the Mangalacharana prayers and a small song. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Prabhupada Priya Dasaya Jagannadaya Yatrananda Murtaye Bhakti Sukhaya Krishnat Kirtana Nrsimhena Rakshitaya Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashachadeshatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine. I will share my screen now. So today I have chosen the topic of Haridas Thakur, the life and pastimes of Haridas Thakur. I have picked up this topic from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, and also from various ISKCON speakers, and also from some of the classes of my Gurudev. Haridas Thakur appeared in this world in 1415 AD. He appeared just before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared around 1486, and we can see his samadhi even today in Jagannath Puri. His samadhi was located on the route between Tota Gopinath temple and on the way to Swargadwara. He left this mortal world somewhere before 1534 AD. And this is the samadhi of Srila Haridas Thakura. And it was actually the same place at which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually dug a hole and placed the body of Srila Haridas Thakura in 1534 AD. Before we start, we can like to sing the prayers to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya, Gaura Bhakta Vrunda. The glories of Haridas Thakur, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Haridase Gunagana, Asankhya Apara, Keha Kona Amshe Varna, Nahi Paya Para. The transcendental qualities of Haridas Thakur are innumerable and unfathomable. One may describe a portion of them, but to count them all is impossible. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immensely loved and respected Haridas Thakur. Then again in Chaitanya Bhagavat 1.16.17, Vrindavan Das Thakur says, Yebasunu Haridas Seva Thakura, Kata Yahara Shravana Krishna Paibe Sarvata. Now please hear the topics of Srila Haridas Thakur. For by hearing this narration, one can certainly attain Krishna. So there are many pastimes of Srila Haridas Thakur, and it is they are innumerable, and it's very difficult to glorify those his glories within a short time. We'll try to make some effort to glorify him. And Chaitanya Bhagavat says, Budhana Gramate Avitirna Haridas Hessa Se Bhagye Sasabadeshe Kirtana Prakasha. Haridas Thakur is an eternal perfect associate of the Lord. He appeared in a Mohammedan family in the village of Budhana within the district of Jessore. This Budhana is currently in Bangladesh, and it is in the district of Jessore. Due to his mercy, many persons in the district of Jessore obtained piety and became faithful to the chanting of the Krishna's holy names. And then the commentary also in English, it says, he appeared in this world in the village of Budhan in the present district of Satkira, which was previously a subdivision of Khulna, Bangladesh. He was born in 1450 AD, and his parents named him Muhammad Sikandar Khan. He renounced family life at a very young age and converted to Vaishnavism by adopting the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra day and night. He used to chant 192 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra on his beats every day which is roughly 300,000 holy names daily. He set up a hut in the forest of Benapole, Bangladesh, and used to beg alms for his daily requirement of food from nearby Brahmin households. He led a very austere life in Benapole, and he has a small hut in Benapole, and said that Haridas in Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela, third chapter, 19th verse, Haridasa yebe nijagruha tyaga kaila bena polera vanamadye katadina rahila. After leaving his home, Haridasa Thakur stayed for some time in the forest of Benapola. And then again, it says, Haridase yebe nijagruha tyaga kaila bena polera vana madhya katadina rahila. Haridas Thakur constructed a cottage in a solitary forest. There he planted a tulasi plant, and in front of tulasi he would chant the holy name of the Lord 300,000 times daily. 300,000 times. He chanted throughout day and night. Srila Haridas Thakura's name and fame soon began spreading far and wide. Everyone started respecting him and honoring him. This is the hut of Haridas Thakur near Benapole. However, the Jamindar of that area, of that district, was envious of Haridas Thakur. Sai Deshadyaksha Nama Ramachandra Kana Vaishnava Vidvesi Sai Pashanda Pradana. So he was very envious, Ramachandra Khan. Not only he was very envious of the Vaishnavas, but he was also a great atheist. Antya Leela 3rd chapter 107. Kana kehe mora paika. So basically he hires a prostitute and he wants to defame Haridas Thakur. So he invites few prostitutes in that area, and he picks up one of the prostitutes who is very beautiful and pleasing to the heart, and then he says, Mora paika yauka tomara sane, tomara sahita ekatra tare, adari yena ane. So he said, Ramachandra Khan said to the prostitute, my constable will go with you, so that as soon as he sees you with Haridas Thakur, immediately he will arrest him and bring both of you to me. And when she arrives at the hut of Haridas Thakur, Haridas Thakur was extremely beautiful at that age. He was very young at that time. And the prostitute requested 3 days, basically to please, to trap Haridas Thakur or to allure Haridas Thakur into her beauty. And she says the same thing to Ramchandra Khan also. Give me 3 days and I will catch him, and you can catch him when I am with him, when I allure him and have an association with him. So she tries innumerable ways pleasing Haridas Thakur, and then when she reaches the hut of Haridas Thakur says, Haridasa kahe toma karimu angikara sankhya nama samapti yavat nahaya amara tavat tumi vasi suna nama sankirtana nama samapti hoile karimu ye tomara mana. So basically she came to trap Haridas Thakur, but he cleverly says, I shall accept you without fail but you will have to wait until I have finished chanting my regular rounds on my beads. Until that time, please sit and listen to the chanting of the holy name. As soon as I am finished, I shall fulfill your desire. So, in this way, he keeps on chanting for the first night, and then also the second night, he says the same thing. So, I have taken a commitment of chanting 1 million rounds in a month. So, unless only after I finish my promise of chanting the 1 million names of Harinam, then I will please your mind. I will please you. So after 3 days, on the third day, in the very first 2 days, she is purified, and then on the third day, she fell at the feet of Haridas Thakur, and then she confesses that she was sent by Haridas Thakur to pollute him. Dandavat Hana Pade Thakuracharane Ramachandra Kane Rakata Kaila Nivedana. Basically, she reveals the plan, the whole plan on why Ramachandra Khan wants to defame Haridas Thakur. He was very envious. People are respecting Haridas Thakur, and because of the envy, he couldn't tolerate the glory of Haridas Thakur, and people respecting him and offering everything to Haridas Thakur. And then, so she, after 3 days, this she basically accepts Haridas Thakur as her spiritual master, and she requests him to accept him as a disciple. So then Haridas Thakur says, Nirantara nama lao karatulasi sevana achirat pabe tabe Krishnera charana. Chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra continuously and render service to the Tulasi plant by watering her and offering prayers to her. In this way, you will very soon get the opportunity to be sheltered at the lotus feet of Krishna. So, and also he says, whatever money she has acquired through the service of being in that profession as a prostitute, she says donate it to all brahmanas as a charity, and then come and stay where Haridas Thakur was staying in that hut in Benapole. So following the order of Haridas Thakur, that prostitute basically comes back to the hut after selling the property and after giving up all her possessions and donating as a charity to all brahmanas and sadhus. And then she also started chanting continuously 300,000 names of Krishna every day. So, however, Ramachandra Khan, who plotted this plan to defame Haridas Thakur, he has his sins. He also committed another sin of disrespecting Nityananda. So it says, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Antyalila 3:150, Sarvajna Nityananda Aila Tara Gare, Asiya Vasila Durga Mandape Upare. So Lord Nityananda, who is omniscient, because he is the supreme personality of Godhead, came to the house of Ramachandra Khan and sat down on the altar of Durga Mandapa. So at the time, Nityananda Prabhu was traveling all across Gaudadesh, and then the Bangladesh, or you can say the East Bangladesh and West Bangladesh, or Gaudadesh, and he was spreading the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So in his travels, basically, since he is the supreme personality of Godhead and who is omniscient, he came to the house of Ramachandra Khan at Benapol, and he came with his followers, and he sat down on the altar of Durga Mandapa. But Ramachandra Khan, he never he never he never respected any Vaishnavas, and he is also an atheist. So Sahaje Avaishnava Ramachandra Kana Haridasa Aparade Hoila Asura Samana. So Chaitanya Charitamrita says Ramachandra Khan was naturally a non-devotee. Now, having offended the lotus feet of Haridas Thakura, he became just like a demoniac atheist. So when Nityananda Prabhu came there to do Sankirtan in Durga Mandapa, he denies that request. Basically, he says, this place is very small. You go and do your Sankirtan at some other place. So at that instance, Nityananda Prabhu becomes very angry and he says, Bitere achila suni, krode bahirila, atta atta hasi gosani kahite lagila. Gosani here means Nityananda Prabhu. When Nityananda Prabhu heard this order from the servant of Ramachandra Khan, he became very angry and came out. Laughing very loudly, he spoke as follows. Basically, Ramachandra Khan did not come out. He sent his servant to go and talk to Nityananda Prabhu. And in those days, in Bengal, the wealthy merchants or the wealthy people used to have a big Durga temple in their courtyard. So Ramachandra Khan, being wealthy at the time, he had that big place, and he did not give that place for Nityananda Prabhu. So for that, so Nityananda Prabhu said in anger, Satya kahe ye gara mora yogyanaya, Nacha go vada kare tara yogya haya. Ramachandra Khan. So his Nityananda Prabhu was sarcastically said, Ramachandra Khan has spoken rightly. This place is unfit for me, and this place is only suitable for cow killing meat eaters. And then Eta bali krode gosani utiya chalila, tare danda dite se grama na rahila. Having said that, Lord Nityananda Prabhu stood up and left in an angry mood to chastise Ramachandra Khan. He did not even stay in that village. So basically, so the sins of Ramachandra Khan have fructified, and he also got the chastisement of Nityananda Prabhu. So soon after that, so basically Ramachandra Khan was supposed to pay taxes to the government, I mean the king of Bengal at that time, but he was just accumulating the properties, and he was accumulating the wealth, and he wasn't paying any taxes to the king of Bengal. So the king sent a Muslim minister to take away Ramachandra Khan's wealth basically. So Jati Dana Jana Kanera Sakala Laila Bahudina Paryanta Grama Ujada Rahila. So the Muslim minister took away Ramachandra Khan's position. I mean, basically, they terminated the position and they took away his wealth and also followers. For many days, that village remained deserted. So basically, they also not only they took away the wealth of Ramachandra Khan, but they also killed cows and they also ate the flesh of the cows at the same place where Nityananda Prabhu sat and became angry. So it is said that महांतेर अपमान ये देशा ग्रामे होया एक जनार दोषे सब देश उजा उजादया. Whenever an advanced devotee is insulted for one man's fault, the entire town or place is afflicted. Basically, for the offense of one person, in this case Ramachandra Khan, unfortunately, the whole village was afflicted. So Krishna does not tolerate the offense of atheists and non-devotees to a Vaishnava. So the Vaishnava may tolerate that offense, but Krishna will not be able to tolerate that offense, and a due punishment will be given by Krishna based on the sins of that particular person or that particular offender. So soon after that, after he left Benapole, Haridasa Thakura walked until he came to the village known as Chandapura. Basically, this one is this place, Chandapura, is on West Bengal. Is in West Bengal now. I think this place is very close to Saptagram, and there he stayed at the house of Balarama Acharya. One Balarama Acharya. He was very affectionate to Haridas Thakur, and he was also a big Brahmana, respected by everybody in that village. And in that village, Haridasa Thakura was given a solitary thatched cottage, and there he performed the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day and night. And as usual, he would continue chanting 300,000 names of Krishna. So there are two Majumdars in that place, and to the place of Majumdars Iranya and Govardhana. These two Majumdars are basically the father and uncle of Raghunath Das Thakur. And on the request of Balarama Acharya, Haridas Thakur, with great humility, came to the assembly. They used to have an assembly, and they would discuss about Bhagavad Gita and also Srimad Bhagavatam, and all topics related to Krishna. And on the request of these Majumdars, and basically they introduced Haridas Thakur to that assembly, and then these Majumdars mentioned to the assembly that Haridasa Thakura would chant every day 300,000 names of Krishna. Tina Lakshana Nama Thakura Karena Kirtana Namaira Mahima Utaila Pandita Guna. So in that assembly, Haridas Thakur, being an amacharya, he would explain the glories of the holy names. So, and then he asked the scholars to explain what do they think of this, the benefit, what is the benefit of chanting the holy name of the Lord. So some of them would say, so it will give liberation, and some of them would say, so whatever realization they have, um, they presented that in that assembly. However, Haridas Thakur did not accept all these explanations, and then he said, the benefit of chanting the holy name of the Lord purely is that it awakens the ecstatic love for the lotus feet of Krishna if it is chanted offenselessly. So Haridas ab kahena namera yehi duhi falanaya namera fale Krishna pada pade prema upajaya. So Haridas said, prema upajaya means it awakens if one chants the holy name of Krishna without any offenses. It gives us Krishna prema. And then he also said that the first hint that offenseless chanting of the Lord's holy name, it dissipates the reactions of sinful life immediately. What are the first symptoms or initial symptoms? The initial symptoms is that it dissipates the holy name, dissipates the reactions of sinful life immediately. And then when one continuously chants the holy name of Krishna offenselessly, one awakens to the ecstatic love at the lotus feet of Krishna. So when the discussion was going on in the house of Hiranya and Govardhana Majumdara, there was a tax collector. There was a tax collector by name Gopala Chakravarti Thakur. Gopala Chakravarti, and he was the chief tax collector. So he didn't agree with the explanation of the glories of the holy name by Haridas Thakur. So then he said that Vipra kahe, and that Brahmin, Nama base yadi mukti naya tabe tomara naka kate karaha nishchaya. So he has the audacity to even challenge the Haridas Thakur, and he was a very young Brahmana. And then he said, if one is not liberated by Namabhasa, then you may be certain that I shall cut off your nose. So Haridas Thakur actually accepts his challenge. Then he says, if Namabhas doesn't give you liberation, then I will cut off my nose. So, because, and then there the Brahmanas became very angry. Even the Majumdars became very angry, and they chastised them. And they say, Haridas Thakur is the Namacharya, and he is respected by all the devotees and sadhus, and you are a very young Brahmana without any realization on the holy name, and pretty soon you may expect some calamity in your life. and they warn him, and they also remove him from the position of collecting taxes. And it is said that tina dina bhitere sei viprera kushta hoila ati ucha nasa tara galia padila. So, because of the offense to Haridas Thakur by Gopala Chakravarti, within 3 days, that Brahmana was attacked by leprosy, and as a result of his highly raised nose, melted away and fell off. So this is, even though Haridas Thakur tolerated the offense, but Krishna did not tolerate the offense at the lotus feet of Srila Haridas Thakura. So within 3 days after he offended Haridas Thakur, he got leprosy and his nose melted away. Now, so after his stay at Chandrapur, so Haridas Thakur, he arrived in Shantipur. So in Shantipur, Srila Advaita Thakur was staying at that time. So in Chaitanya Bhagavat it says, so ati paramardha shunyam sakala samsara tuchya rasa vishaye se adara sabara. So Haridas Thakur was lamenting greatly at that time. He said that the entire world was devoid of spiritual practice, and everyone is attached to insignificant sense gratification. They are not chanting the holy name of the Lord, and they are not doing any congregational chanting. And at that time only devotees are reading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. I mean, this is before the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So even at the time, there was no. So Haridas Thakur was very very morose, that why everybody is only attached to insignificant sense gratification. He said that tuchya rasa vishaye se adara sabara. Tuchya rasa means insignificant. Rasa means melody, insignificant sense gratification. So, and once Haridas Thakur arrives in Shantipur, so Advaita Acharya was very happy to receive the association of Haridas Thakur. So it is said that Paye Tahana Sangha Acharya Gosani Hunkara Karena Anandaira Antanayi. So there is no end to his ecstasy upon obtaining Haridas Thakur's association. Advaita Acharya roared in unlimited ecstasy, Hunkara. He was also roaring. And then at that place, so every day Haridas Thakur would go around Shantipur, and then on the banks of river Ganga, he would exhibit extraordinary symptoms of love of Krishna. So there was a Qazi. He was a Muslim. He was a Muslim justice. He could not tolerate the singing and chanting of Haridas Thakur's holy names, and also he became very envious again, like Ramchandra Khan. So basically, he goes to the king of Bengal. So and then he complains to the king that being born in a Muslim family, he is he is taking the activities of the inferior religion of Hindus. So Kaji Giya Mulukera Adipatis Tane Kahileka Tahana Sakala Vivarne. Basically, he explained everything on how Haridas Thakur was conducting um, his activities in Pulia. I mean, this village Pulia is very close to Shantipur, on the banks of river Ganga. So basically, he says to the king, please call him and consider his case. I mean, consider his case means punish him. So, Chaitanya Bhagavat says, Krishnere Prasada Haridasa Mahashaya Yavanara ki daya Kalero o nahi baya. So even though the Yavana, I mean the king, summoned him, by the mercy of Krishna, Sri Haridas Thakur was not even afraid of death personified. So what to speak of the Muslim rulers? I mean the king of Bengal at the time. So the king, they have a lengthy discussion between Haridas Thakur and the king, and the king tries to um, convince Haridas Thakur to stop chanting the holy names of the Lord. And in between, before approaching the king, Haridas Thakur um, basically spoke to many prisoners. So he was initially put in a prison house, and he gives few instructions to them. So not to be take pleasure in sense gratification. Only think always of Krishna and worship Krishna wherever you are and whoever you are. Just think of Krishna always and sing the holy names of Krishna. And then he says that, and he gives the blessings to these prisoners. Pretty soon, in a couple of days, they will also be released from the prison. So the king tries him many ways, and then the king says, "You, Haridas Thakur, you have such a great fortune of being born in a Muslim family, and why are you taking up the religion of Kafirs?" I mean, basically, Kafirs means the non-believers or the Hindus. The king considered even the Hindus as Kafirs, and then he says to Haridas, whatever has happened, happened. So just read Kalma and all your sins will be forgiven. So Haridas Thakur says to the king, he says to the king, Kanda Kanda hoibe deha yadi mera pran, tabu ami vadane na chadi harinam. So even if my body cut into pieces and give up my life, I never give up chanting the Lord's holy name. So he says, I may face, he says to the king, Haridas Thakur, I may face innumerable difficulties, but I will never give up chanting the holy names of the Lord. So, after convincing him in many ways, and after failing, the king of Bengal says to the Qazi, what should we do with him now? So the Qazi has still not given up his envy, and then he says, basically, he says, Kaji Bale, I mean Kaji said, Baisa Bajare Bedi Mari, Prana Laha, Aru Kichu Vichara Nahi Kara. says Paisa Bazare means 22 marketplaces. So he says, is it their intention is the Kaji's intention is take his life away in this way by beating him very seriously. So he says, Kichu Vichara Nai Kari. That is my opinion. So, so as per the order of Kaji, Haridas Thakur was beaten at 22 marketplaces. And generally it is said that in 2 or 3 marketplaces, somebody would uh, would give up his life. But Haridas Thakur was beaten in 22 marketplaces. So, however, because of Krishna's mercy, Haridas Thakur did not feel any pain. He was rather feeling ecstasy. He was in very he wasn't at all feeling pain. He is exhibiting the symptoms of ecstasy. So it is said that Krishnere prasade Haridasha sharire alpa dukkha nahi janma eteke prahara. By the mercy of Krishna, Haridas felt no pain whatsoever in spite of such heavy beating. So basically, the king had got strong servants who would beat, who were specifically who were specifically employed to beat the offenders in the kingdom. So when they beat, people would normally die within 2 or 3 marketplaces. And then Haridas Thakur was praying on the top of that. He was praying to Krishna, please forgive them. Please forgive their offense of torturing me. Ei sabe jivara Krishna karaha prasada, mora drohe nahu, e sabara aparada. So he's saying, forgive their offense of torturing me. So then, even after beating so much, still Haridas Thakur didn't die. And then these servants of the king, so they are astonished. So Vismita hoye bhave sakala yavane manushyara prana ki rahaya ye marane. They said to themselves, very, very astonished, can a human being survive after such a heavy beating? So, Dekiya Yavana Gana Vismita Hoila Muluka Patire Dware Laila Laya Pelaila. And so basically, so they request Haridas Thakur, if you don't die, the king will kill us. So please give your mercy and show us a way. So then Haridas Thakur goes into deep samadhi and meditating on Krishna, Lord Krishna. And then looking at this, so not only he did not die, but also he went into deep samadhi and he became a dead person at the time. So Vismita, so they became very astonished, and they took the lifeless body of Haridas Thakur to the king. So the king orders him to put the body of Haridas Thakur in a grave, but the Kaji, who is very sinful, he says he does not deserve a higher destination. If a Muslim is placed in a grave, they believe that as per their religious literature, that person will go to heaven. So the Qazi doesn't even want him to go to heaven. So therefore he says, so Mati dile paraloke haibe eka bala ganga fela yena dukka paya chirakalai. He wants Haridas Thakur to be thrown in the Ganga river, and he wants him to suffer forever. And then he said, if you bury them, if you bury him, he will certainly attain a better destination in the next life, because he doesn't want that. So then, basically, they take him to the as per the order of the Qazi, the servants of the king take the body of the Haridas Thakur, and they try to enter, and they try to throw him into the Ganga river there at Fulia. And then at the time, so Haridas Thakur sat there in great ecstasy and great ecstatic meditation. Lord Vishwambara entered his body. So and they were, and then he kiba antarikshe kiba prithvite gangayana janena haridasa achena kotaya. He did not even know whether he was in the sky, or on the land, or on the waters of the Ganges. And eventually, they the gods throw the body into the Ganges river, and then ena mate haridasa basena gangaya kshanake haila bahya ishvara ichaya. So he floated in the Ganges for some time, and he regained his external consciousness by the will of the Lord Krishna. So Ishvara Ichaya, by the will of the Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire. So he regained his external consciousness, and then he would slowly went on to the banks of the Ganges river, and then he started again walking to Pulia. So on the way, Sai Mata Ailana, Pulia Nagare, Krishna Nama Bhalite Bhalite, Uchai Sware. So he was chanting the holy names of the Lord very loudly. And then after a few days, then the king comes and meets Haridas Thakur, and then he says, he requests the king of Bengal asks Haridas Thakur to forgive him, and then he says, Satya Satya Janilana Tumi Mahafira Eka Jnana Tomara Se Hoiche Stira. Now I know for certain that you are a powerful saint, for you are firmly convinced that the Supreme Lord is one. Basically, he says, I have seen many philosophers and saints, no, but they did not achieve any perfection. But oh Haridas Thakur, you are such a powerful saint. You have achieved such a great perfection that you are able to, display all these symptoms, great symptoms of a great saint. Mahafira, Fira means saint. Peer, in South India we also called Peer, great Muslim saints, and there are many festivals the Muslims also conduct for their saints. I mean these Peer, they call it the Peer festival. So at that time also that festival was there. So and then the king said, now you can go wherever you want in my kingdom, and you can chant in whatever way you want to chant. You can chant loudly, you can stay in my kingdom, or you can go in a cave, or you can roam around my kingdom, freely chanting the holy names of the Lord. So at that time, Haridas Thakur was displaying innumerable ecstatic symptoms of love of Godhead, love of Krishna. So he said that Adbhuta Ananta Haridasera Vikara Ashru Kampa Hasya Murcha Pulaka Hunkara. So Haridasa Thakur displayed endless ecstatic transformations like crying, shivering, laughing, falling unconscious, hairs standing on end, and roaring. These are all ecstatic symptoms. Crying, such symptoms can be only be displayed by a great Mahabhagavat. So, after some time, once he was released um, from the from the prison of the king, and the king gave him freedom. Haridas Thakur, he goes to a cave near Fulia, and on the in these pastimes, he would go to a cave, and inside that um, cave he would chant 300,000 times of the holy names of the Lord. So before that, um, so he goes back to Fulia, and then he would display um, so symptoms, and then and seeing this, Achadakayana Haridasa Prema Rasa Dekiya Brahmana, the Brahmanas started flowing in ecstasy. They float in ecstasy. Then in ecstatic love, Haridasa crashed to the ground. Seeing that, seeing this, the Brahmanas began to float in ecstasy. And then he confessed to the Brahmanas of that Fulia, Bala hoila iti bada failun santosha alpa shashtikari kshamilena bada dosa. I am satisfied, for whatever happened to me was for my benefit. The Lord has relieved me of great offense by awarding me a token punishment. Haridas Thakur was said this to the Brahmanas, said that the Lord has given me a token punishment. Basically, he said that he had heard offenses, um, offense of the lotus feet of the Lord Vishnu, and therefore the Lord has given him a token punishment um, for that um, for that for tolerating the insults to the holy name of the Lord, and insults to the Vaishnavas, and also to the Supreme Lord Krishna. So then, Tabe Haridasa Ganga Tire Gofa Kari Takena Virale Hahar Nisha Krishna Smari. And then he went to the cave on the bank of the Ganges, and he remembered Krishna day and night. And he would transform that cave into a Vaikunta. Gofa Hoila Tare Yena Vaikunta Bhavana. Vaikunta Bhavana means Vaikunta. Here he had transformed the cave into a Vaikunta. So then all the residents of Fulia used to come there, and they could not tolerate a burning sensation, a burning atmosphere in that cave. However, Haridas Thakur was completely oblivious. Mahanaga Vaishya Sai Gufara Bitare Tare Jwala Prani Matre Saite Napare. A huge snake lived within that cave, and no living entity could tolerate the burning atmosphere produced from its poison. So the Vaidyas, one of the Vaidya acharyas there, they come and ascertain that there is there is a big snake in this cave, and it has created a very toxic and and because of its poison in the cave, and there is intense burning. So they go and tell um, they basically the physician says, यही गुफारा तलाया ये का महानागा आचे tahara ज्वलाये. There is a big snake inside the cave. Because of that, the poisonous everybody is burning uh, from the poison. So and then they request Haridas Thakur, please leave this cave. And but Haridas Thakur says, I don't feel any I don't feel any burning sensation. However, because you are not able to tolerate this burning sensation, I will leave tomorrow for another place. And if there is a snake in this cave and it does not leave by tomorrow, then I will go to some other place. Don't worry. Let us all chant Krishna's name. Chinta nahi tomara balaha Krishna gata. So he says, don't worry. Let's chant Krishna's name. So even though the snake was there in that cave, it did not harm Haridas Thakur because he was such a Mahabhagavat. The snake did not feel any danger from Haridas Thakur. And listening to this conversation between the Haridas Thakur and the residents of Fulia, hearing that Haridas Thakur was prepared to leave that cave, the large snake immediately leaves that cave, left that cave. So, and then Paramadbhuta Sarpa Mahabhayankara Pita Neela Shukla Varna Paramasundara. So all the residents, they could see a large wonderful snake which looked most fearful. It was also very beautiful, being colored yellow, blue, and white. So after this, eventually, Haridas Thakur left Fulia, and he goes to Jagannath Puri, and he started living at Siddhavakul tree, where that place is very close to the Puri temple, and their devotees would come and meet him regularly. And one time Haridas Thakur came and met Sanatana Goswami came and met Haridas Thakur. So basically, Haridas Thakur glorifies Sri Sanatana Goswami, saying that the Lord has given you the responsibility of excavating places in Vrindavan, and also writing literature, Krishna conscious literature, and then for that, Sri Haridas Thakur, the Sanatana Goswami says, Sanatana kahe, Thomas sama keba ache ana, Mahaprabhure gane tumi Mahabhagyavan. Sanatana Goswami replied, "O Haridas Thakur, who is equal to you? You are one of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, you are the most fortunate. And then he says, Sanatana Goswami says, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared in this world to spread the holy name of the Lord. He says, He said, Avatara Karya Prabhura Nama Prachare Sai Nija Karya Prabhu Karena Tomara Dware. The mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to spread the importance of chanting the holy name of the Lord. So instead of personally doing so, he is spreading it through you. So he is saying you are given such a very big responsibility. And then he says, Achara Prachara Namaira Karaha Dui Karya Tumi Sarva Guru Tumi Jagatera Arya. So Sanatana Goswami says to Haridas Thakur, you simultaneously perform both duties in relation to the holy name by your personal behavior, achar, and also by preaching. Therefore, you are the spiritual master of the whole world, for you are the most advanced devotee of in the world. So we can see everybody was appreciating the glories of Haridas Thakur, and they are able to see personally the um, the um, the extraordinary personality of Haridas Thakur. And let's come to the final pastimes of Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur, so by the time, I mean this is somewhere around before somewhere around 1536. So he became very old. I think almost he must be in 70s or 80s. So he appeared in 1450. So the exact date on which I mean he left this world is not known, but it is said that he left his body before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this world. So at the time during his stay in Puri, every day either Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come and visit him and give the prasad of Lord Jagannath, or he would send his servant as personal assistant Govinda to give Mahaprasad of Lord Jagannath. So one day, um, Govinda came and he said, Govinda kahe uta hasi karaha bojana, Haridasa kahe aji karmu langana. Please rise and take your Mahaprasad. So, but Haridas Thakur says, I will skip. I will skip for today. Taking the Mahaprasad of of Lord Jagannath. So he says, Sankhya Kirtana Pure Nahi Ke Mata Kaiva Mahaprasadi Aniyacha Ke Mata Upekshiba. So therefore he says, I have not finished chanting my regular number of rounds. How then can I eat? But you have brought the Mahaprasadam, and how can I neglect it? So he takes a small, because he didn't want to disrespect the Mahaprasadam of Lord Jagannath. He takes few grains and takes the prasad, and then Govinda goes and informs Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the situation of Haridas Thakur. Basically, he was sleeping and chanting the holy name of the Lord, and he is very ill at that time. So, in the next day, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to that place, then he says to Haridas, Susta hoya Haridas, Bali tanre puchila, inquired from him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him, how are you? Are you well? So for this, Haridas Thakur says, Sharira Shushta Hoya Mara, Ashushta Buddhi Mana. He says, he paid obeisances to the Lord, and replied, "My body is all right, but my mind and intelligence are not well." So for that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, um, "You are a namacharya. You have chanted innumerable names of the Lord, and you can reduce your rounds." So he said, "Loka nishtarite ye tomara avatara, namera mahima, loke karila prachara." Your role in this incarnation is to deliver the people in general. We have sufficiently preached the glories of the holy name in this world. And Haridas Thakur knew that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will soon end his pastimes in Nilachal or in Jagannath Puri, and he said he didn't want to see the final pastimes of the Lord, and he desired that he left this mortal world before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would leave this world, and therefore he submits a request to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, "Eka vancha hoya mora bahudina hoite lila sambari be tumi laya more chitte." I had one desire for a long time. I think that quite soon, my Lord, you will bring to a close your pastimes in this world. And then he says, "Sailila Prabhu, Mora Kabu na dekaiba, Apanara age Mora Sherira Padiba." I wish that you not show me this closing chapter of your pastimes. Before that time comes, kindly let my body fall down in your presence. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, um, because of Krishna's mercy, I got your association, and to Haridas Thakur, and he says that, you are my dearmost associate, and please don't leave me and leave this material world. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then tries to convince Haridas Thakur to not to give up his body soon, and for that he says, um, however, Haridas Thakur, um, Thakur says to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that there are many more devotees of you who can do many more wonderful things. I am just an ant, and please be merciful to me and fulfill my desire of leaving this body before your presence. So then, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to him, "Krishna is so merciful that he must execute whatever you want. Krishna Krupa Maya Taha Avashya Karibe." So he finally accepts the desire of Haridas Thakur. So he says to him, "Krishna Krupa Maya Taha Avashya Karibe." So your desire will be fulfilled. Krishna must fulfill your desire. So so after so one day, after a couple of days, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes with a great congregation of devotees, and this and it is was and the main singer was Vakreshwar Pandit, and they so and they Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he places his Haridas Thakur places the body of the he was looking at the he basically left his body in the presence of Haridas Thakur. So here it says, he began to chant the holy names of Sri Krishna Chaitanya again and again. As he drank the sweetness of the face of the Lord, tears constantly glided down from his ears. Haridas Thakur, before he left this world, he chanted the holy names of Sri Krishna Chaitanya again and again. He said, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And then Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sabda, Karite Ucharana, Namere Sahita Prana Kaila Utpramana. So while chanting the holy name of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, he gave up his hair of life and left his body. So he was constantly chanting at the time of his departure, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And then the life hair left his body. So after that, they take the body of Haridas Thakur to the ocean, and there they bathed the transcendental body of Haridas Thakur. And then he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after bathing the body in the sea in Jagannath Puri, he said, Haridas Samudra Jala Snana Karila, Prabhu Kahe, Samudra Yehi Mahatirtha Hoila. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, since this ocean, he declared, from this day on, this sea has become a great pilgrimage site, because Haridas Thakur's transcendental body was bathed at the sea. So then everyone drank the water that had touched the lotus feet of Haridas Thakur, and they smeared remnants of Lord Jagannath's sandalwood pulp all over Haridas Thakur's body. Then Dora Kandara Prasada Vastra Ange Dila Valukara Ghartakari Tahis Soaila. So after a hole was dug in the sand near the beach, and the body of Haridas Thakur was placed into it. Remnants from Lord Jagannath, such as silken ropes, sandalwood pulp, food and cloth, were placed on the body. Basically, Mahaprabhu with his own hands and with the help of the devotees, they dug a trench near the beach, and they placed the body in that ditch. Then soon after that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and chanted all around the platform, and as the holy name of the Lord, as the holy name of Hari rolled tumultuously, the whole universe became filled with vibration. Hari Dwani Kola Hele Barila Bhuvana. So the whole world filled with transcendental vibration. And then they all the devotees who came there to see Haridas Thakur mortal body, so they all played in the waters of the sea with great jubilation. Samudra Karila Snana, Jala Keli Range, they all bathed and played in great ecstasy, in great jubilation. Then soon after that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Simhadwar, and then he started begging for prasadam to honor Haridas Thakur. He says to all the merchants there, Haridase Thakurera Mahotsavera Tare Prasada Magiya Bhiksha Deha Ta Amare. I am begging prasadam for a festival honoring the passing away of Haridas Thakur, the Lord said, "Please give me alms." So he was in a mixed emotions. He was joyful, and also he was a little bit sad that Haridas Thakur left him. So to honor Haridas Thakur, so the Lord went to Simhadwar and requested for alms. So there, all the merchants, who sell the prasad of Lord Jagannath, they came and gave the prasadam in large quantities. And however, the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told them not to collect all the prasad. Then they would bring all the prasad um, to to um, to the place where, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, and then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally distributed all the Mahaprasad of Lord Jagannath. So it is said that Mahaprabhura Sri Haste Alpana Ishe Eka Eka Pate Pancha Janara Bhaksha Parivase. So it is said that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not accustomed to taking prasadam in small quantities. He therefore put on each plate what at least 5 men could eat. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has huge hands, and he has Ajanu Lambita. So, and he was not also giving prasadam in small quantities. So he encouraged everybody to take Mahaprasad of Lord Jagannath in huge quantities. And then at the time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his benediction. Anyone who has seen the festival of Srila Haridas Thakur's passing away, anyone who has chanted and danced here, anyone who has offered sand on the body of Haridas Thakur, and anyone who has joined this festival to partake of the prasadam will achieve the favor of Krishna very soon. There is such wonderful power in saying Haridas Thakur. So Lord gave the benediction that anyone who offered some service there for Haridas Thakur, they will achieve the favor of Krishna very soon. So then he said to everybody there, Haridasa Achila Prithvira Shiromani Taha Veena Ratna Shunya Hoila Medini. Haridas Thakur was the crown jewel on the head of the world. Without him, this whole world is now bereft of its valuable jewel. So everybody is after wealth, and everybody is after fame. All those things, as per Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the great Vaishnavas, are insignificant. So the real crown jewel is Mahabhagavat. In this case, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said Haridas Thakur was the crown jewel on the head of this world, and without that crown jewel, the whole world is now bereft of its valuable jewel. And Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Shesha Kale Daila Tanre Darshana Sparshana Tanre Kole Kari Kaila Apane Nartana. So when Haridas Thakur was at the last stage of his life, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his company and allowed him to touch him. Thereafter, he took the body of Haridas Thakur on his lap and personally danced with it. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally took the body in his lap and carried the body to the beach, and being a sannyasi, he broke the principles of sannyas and allowed and touched the body of Haridas Thakur, and he personally cremated that body. And Mahabhagavate Haridasa Parma Vidwan. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it said Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not only the topmost devotee of the Lord, but also a great um, learned scholar. So, and it was his great fortune that he passed away before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, his wish to leave this mortal world has come to truth by the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya. Mahabhagavata Haridasa Parama Vidwan. He was not only a Mahabhagavat but also a learned scholar. So, with that, I end this presentation. And if anybody has any questions, they can direct to me. I will try to answer in my capacity.
I will let me just quickly check if there are any questions online.
What is it, Prabhu?
I'm saying let me check if there are any questions online. I don't see any online questions. Yeah, but this was very nice presentation, Prabhu, on Haridas Thakur. You made very beautiful slides. You got the verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat. I was just recollecting that how non-envious and kind Haridas Thakur is. Although there are people who try to do harm to him, he will forgive them. Like for example, that prostitute came, right, and he knew, but he forgave her and gave her the greatest benediction, holy name. And also those two attendants of what's his name, that king, Muslim king.
Ramchandra Khan?
No, not
Kaji?
Ramchandra. Ha, Kazi, yes. The
Kaji
two
of Fulia.
attendants, yes, they tried to kind of, use the whip to try to kill him, but he was not dying. So he finally said that those two attendants said, "Okay, if you don't die, then the king will kill us." So he faked basically that death, accepted it publicly, just to save their lives.
These are all nectarian pastimes, Prabhu.
Yeah, wonderful.
So anybody who reads them with little interest,
Yeah,
they can attain the mercy of Krishna.
yeah,
They are very nectarian. These pastimes are there in Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita also
yeah,
by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And both of them try to glorify Haridas Thakur in a very sweet way.
mm,
When you read these pastimes in from directly from Chaitanya Bhagavat and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, one can feel astonished, and we can feel there is divine, divine presence,
yeah.
the divine presence of Haridas Thakur, the divine personality of Haridas Thakur.
That is true. Let's
I can end
see.
this call, Prabhu.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
would like
We
to
can.
thank all the devotees who gave me the opportunity to give this presentation. I'd like to thank our management, temple management, um, and also Shubhas Pandit Prabhu, Hansapriya Mataji, Mirakula Mataji, and our Prabhu. And with that, I end this
Vancha
talk on Haridas Thakur.
kalpatarubhyascha, vancha kalpatarubhyascha,
Sarvesya
kripa
kripa sindhubhyo cha
sindhubhyascha,
patitanam pavanebhyo
patitanampavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
vaishnavebhyo namo नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद
Krishna
की
Vrinda ki
जय।
jai, Namacharya Srila
तदिया
Haridas
सेवा
Thakur ki
प्रभु की जय। शिला
jai,
प्रभुपाद
Haridas
की
Thakur
जय।
ki jai,
हरिदास ठाकुर
Srila
की जय
Prabhupada
और
ki
भक्त
jai.
वृंद की जय।
Yeah.
Thank you, dear devotees, for taking time from your busy lives and coming to this online only Wednesday class from wherever you have joined. And then we'll connect again next Wednesday in the online only class. But Saturday morning and Sunday evening, we do have classes in the temple at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. So please do come and join us. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. I take a leave now.